Hi, I'm Naomi and I'm reporting here today from beautiful Bergen in Norway, where it's quite cold, so as you can see I'm wearing a fur coat. I'm here to tell you about my amazing discovery over the last 8 years of working first as a coach and then as a therapist with people struggling with compulsive habits and behaviours, mostly compulsive overeating and also smoking, drinking, whatever it is that a person feels that they're doing that means that they're not living their most full, delicious potential in this life. Those have been the key issues that I've helped support people to shift away from and be free from. So first I was working with the amazing tool of mindfulness, which really has helped people to slow their process down and be aware when they're in an addictive pattern and bring breath into it, bring presence into it, bring some forgiveness into it right in the middle of it happening. And working closely with me to remember to do that, to find the honesty in themselves that they're in an addictive pattern, and to start to find their feet within it, find their body, find their breath, find their heart, right in the middle of whatever addictive, compulsive behavior that they're doing. And I used that tool for many years solely, and I still noticed that people would have a lot of desire to change and would come to me with that desire and really want to make changes, and yet they would find themselves really still doing it. Not everybody, but some certain people would have all that enthusiasm, that motivation, and then they would still be doing it. Even after working quite a long time with mindfulness and self-compassion, they would get back into that self-criticism and, oh, why can't I stick with this, and what's going to happen, even fear, what's going to happen if I just keep doing this? It seems to be progressing even. And so a few people would just find themselves going into even more fear and worry about it. And I was so delighted to discover 12-step recovery. I think it's an amazing resource in the 21st century for us. We have many meetings, we have loads of different ways of connecting. It doesn't just have to be face-to-face meetings. We can connect from our own home with the specific compulsive activity that we have. And so I was delighted to find this tool, and I help people understand that it wasn't a shaming process. I think a lot of people find the language quite old-fashioned and can feel shamed by it, and that it was a really great way of connecting with other people and feeling less alone and feeling less ashamed of what the compulsive addictive tendency that they had was. And still, even with those amazing tools, mindfulness and the 12-step recovery resource that's available at our fingertips, there was still sometimes a real great motivation to change, and yet not really finding themselves creating the shifts that they needed. And so I was so delighted when 4 years ago I discovered internal family systems therapy. It has been the missing piece as a coach and therapist working with addictive compulsive habits, and it's just the absolute cherry on the cake. It really helps to create a lot of flow, a lot of gentleness, a lot of non-resistance, and it helps shifts to be made very, very effortlessly. As soon as we get to know what it is that those parts of us that just don't want to engage in 12-step recovery or in a recovery program or in mindfulness-based relapse prevention, what those parts are anxious about, why it is that they're doing the behaviours, getting to know them better and getting to know how we can help support them to relax. It's like there's nothing left to resist now with those three amazing tools at our fingertips. And I feel really passionate about bringing this message to the world, about helping create an understanding about the different parts of us, how some might want to create change and others might not want to create change. And really just excited to work in this field at this time with all these realizations we're having, and to support you in your journey. If you're interested in working with me, just fill in the contact form, and we can talk more about the recovery journey that lies ahead for you.